All right, welcome everybody. Good day and welcome to another edition of my live real estate sessions. And if it is your first time joining my live session, you're welcome. My name is Sam. My name is Emil Samuel, and I'm a real estate consultant that is dedicated to helping you educate you on the right investments concerning real estate. So today, I'm not going to be wasting much of your time. I'm going to be talking about two different documents. I'm going to be talking about um, deed of conveyance and certificate of occupancy, aka CFO, which is much more important because there are so many persons that believe that they need, without a CFO, sorry, there are so many persons that believe that without a certificate of occupancy, any landed property is fake. I'm going to come again. There are so many people that believe that without a certificate of occupancy, aka CFO, any landed property they come across is fake. Meanwhile, there are so many others that believe that a deed of conveyance is all they need as a land title document to a particular property. So today I'm going to clear the air. I'm going to clear the confusion and bring this particular topic to justice. I'll be sharing with you the meaning of deed of conveyance, the meaning of a CFO, certificate of occupancy, and the advantages to both of them, and which one of them is much more important than the other. So stay tuned to the end of this live session to get the full knowledge of what I'm trying to talk about today. So let's dive right into it. So what is a deed? What is a certificate of occupancy to start with? Now, certificate of occupancy is a land title document that is issued by the state government. It is issued by the state government. Now, it is evidence that the government has given you the right of occupancy. Note that I did not say right to own. No, I did not say right to own. I said right to occupy because according to the Land Use Act of 1978, all lands belong to the government. I see someone just joined my last session. Welcome, welcome to my last session. I'm talking about my message for today is what is the difference between a deed of conveyance and a certificate of occupancy? What are the difference between the both of them, right? So, certificate of occupancy is issued by the state government and it is evidence that the government recognizes you and has granted you the right to occupy, not own, because all lands belong to the government according to the Land Use Act of 1978, right? So it's just like you are a tenant. They lease this land to you. They rented this land to you to occupy and use, not own. And the period of certificate of occupancy is 99 years period, which Nigeria has not yet gotten to that age, 99 years period, because Nigeria is just 65 years of age. So the duration for a certificate of occupancy is 99 years period. So in Nigeria, it is generally regarded as one of the strongest form of document. For me, I call it the highest title document to have in Nigeria, CFO. So now the advantages of CFO is that it shows recognition from the government recognition. Now, just like I said, the government will recognize that you are the legal owner of this property. They've given you the right to occupy. The key word there is recognition. That's the key word, recognition. They've given you that they've recognized you that you are of that land, not owner, right? So also it also gives you a stronger legal protection in case anything wants to happen to that land, in case anybody wants to snatch that land from you or take it from you with the CFO, with the rightful CFO, nothing and nobody will come and take that land from you with the rightful CFO. So it gives you a stronger protection. It gives you a stronger protection, and also it has higher market value. All lands that have a CFO has higher market value because if I have a CFO attached to a property, I can easily sell it any amount I want to sell it, depending on the market value. depending on the market price in that area. I can decide to sell it 50 million. Meanwhile, you that have other forms of documents may sell lower than I that have a CFO attached to my property. That is the advantage, higher market value. And lastly, it has easier future transaction. Easier future transaction because buyers buyers trust lands that have a CFO. Even the bank, when you have a CFO, even the bank will likely give you a loan easily because you have a CFO. So they recognize that title document, which I said is the highest land title document in Nigeria. So they recognize that title document, the bank. So another advantage to it is that it has easier future transaction. In case tomorrow you want to sell it off, you will easily get a buyer that will buy from you when you have a CFO. But I don't know if you've noticed that not all lands can have a CFO attached to it, but not all land has a CFO. And why is that? I'm going to be discussing that in the I'm going to be discussing that as we are going deeper into the live session. So stay tuned to the end of this. Now, depending on the state and depending on the completeness of the application, it takes long. When you apply for a CFO, you don't just get it. It's not like any other land title documents that you can get at any time you want. A CFO usually takes years. I've made an inquiry from somebody that works in the Ministry of Land, and she told me that there are some documents you need in order for you to go apply for a CFO. And it does not just come within 1 year, depending on the state. I mean, minimum minimum she told me there was a year. So if you're applying for a CFO, you should be looking at getting it after a year. Some will take years, not just a year, some will take years, depending on the state. So that is why a CFO, when you get it, it is regarded as the highest land title document and can serve as a strong protection for your land. So now, what is a deed of conveyance? If we are to compare the both of them right now, what is a deed of conveyance? Now, a deed of conveyance is it is another legal document that transfers ownership. I love that word. Mark the keyword. Mark the keyword. The keyword of deed of conveyance is transfer. It transfers ownership from the seller, which is myself. I'm a real estate consultant. Now I am selling, and you that are watching me, you are the buyer. So it easily transfers ownership of of hand. It really transfers ownership of documents of land from me that is the seller to you that is the buyer. This is me and this is you. So if I want to transfer ownership, I'm going to give you a deed of conveyance. I'm selling and you're buying. So I'll just give you a deed of conveyance as a proof that you've bought this land, right? So now the deed of conveyance clearly states who sold the land. The details of the deed of conveyance is who sold the land, who bought the land, the description of the property, the date of the transfer, and the rights transferred. So it is evidence that the land has transferred from one party to the other party. Just like I said, I am the seller and you are the buyer. So if you come to me and buy landed property from me, you are going to be getting a deed of conveyance, transferring ownership from one party, myself, to you that is buying. That is simply what a deed of conveyance is. Now, the advantages of this is that it proves ownership. It serves as evidence that the land has been legally transferred to you. And I told you to mark the word transferred. It serves as an evidence that the land has been transferred to you. And also, it's legally recognized, and also it is necessary for future advantages. And now, there's this one question that somebody chatted me up on Facebook and asked a question. She bought land from somebody else, from a developer, and she saw my number on Facebook and came to my DM and asked me how can she get a CFO. Now I asked her what are the documents that was given to you by that developer, by the person you bought from, and she mentioned survey plan and some other documents which I cannot remember. Now I told her that with the deed of yes, I can remember deed of conveyance and survey plan was given to her with a receipt and allocation letter. So I thought that with the document that it still proves that you are the owner of the land, you are still the rightful owner of that property, no doubt, right? So, but the question she asked me is, can she own land without having a C of O? And the answer is simply yes. The answer is simply yes. This is where many people get it confused. It's where many people get it confused. Now, imagine that I am a real estate consultant and I acquire about 100 plots in a particular location, and I got a C of O that covers the entire estate, right? The C of O, I got it for the entire 100 plots for the entire estate. Now, when you come to buy from me, you will no longer be getting a C of O. I will not issue you a C of O because the C of O covers the hundreds of plots. Your land is safe, but the document you'll be getting is not the C of O this period. You are going to be getting a deed of conveyance or any other land tax document that proves ownership, that proves you bought the land from me. Okay, so now that does not automatically make the ownership invalid. If you don't have a C of O, when you buy a land, it does not mean that the other documents that is given to you automatically means that the transaction is invalid. It does not mean that. So if you're joining my live session now, I'm talking about the difference between the C of O and the deed of conveyance, which is much more important. Which particular documents do you need the most? So that's the driving force of this session. So why is it important? Which is more important? That's the question. So if I'm comparing the two documents together, I would love you to know that the C of O, certificate of occupancy, has higher level documents, right? If you're talking about the C of O, I would love you to know that the C of O has higher documents, and also the the C of O has a government is government issued. Sorry for that. The government are the ones issuing you the C of O. They are the ones issuing you the C of O, and also it is widely accepted by the bank. The C of O has a higher level of title. It's much more higher than deed of conveyance, and it is government issued, and it is widely recognized by banks. In case you want to collect a loan, the banks the bank will likely give you loan easily if you have a C of O attached to that land. And lastly, it has stronger evidence of legal title. So what are the advantages of deed of conveyance? Now, deed of conveyance proves that ownership has been transferred to you. Ownership has been transferred to you. It proves that ownership has been transferred to you. And also, essential in property transaction. It is essential. It is important. It is important. So the common mistakes that buyers make is that they think that when you don't have a C of O, just like I said, someone reached out to me and wanted to buy a property, but because the land did not have a C of O backing it, the transaction did not hold again. It did not hold again because he wanted the land of C of O, and the documents, the entire property had a C of O, but he will not be given a C of O. He will be issued a deed of conveyance. That is why the transaction did not hold again, right? So the right question you should be asking yourself is not whether the land has a C of O or not. You should be asking yourself who owns the land. Is the title genuine? Is the title backing the land? Is it genuine? Right? And also, what title does the developer have? Those are the kind of questions you need to be asking. Not only does the land have a C of O. So in conclusion to this, so which one, after all of these things I've said, which one of these is much more important than the other? So if we are talking about the strength, if we're talking about the strength of the title itself, certificate of occupancy generally carries more weight because it is issued by the government. So if we're talking about the strength of the both titles, certificate of occupancy is much more stronger than the deed of conveyance because it is issued by the government, right? But however, if you've bought land in a property documented estate that already has a valid C of O, your deed of conveyance is vital. It's a vital document because it shows that ownership of your plot has been transferred to you, right? And also that is how you buy land with confidence and protect yourself. So the answer to this today's session is deed of conveyance and survey plan, and deed of conveyance and C of O. Which of them is much more important than the other? The answer is C of O because it is issued by the government. But in case the land has a general C of O, other documents can still be given to you and will still prove that you're the legal owner of that property. And one of those documents that can be issued to you that still proves ownership is a deed of conveyance. So if you've gotten value from this, if you've gotten value from today's session, kindly subscribe. And if you have any questions or any concerns about what I've just said, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll make sure to attend to each and every one of those questions you've dropped. And in case of any consultation, in case of anything you need, I give out free consultations. So do well to go to the description below and check for my number and call me with the number and let's talk, let's deal. All right. See you on the next one. My name is Sam, and I'm a real estate consultant based here in the city of Asaba, Delta State. And I'm dedicated, ever here to help you make informed decision before you invest into real estate. So send me a message right now with the number in the description section, and I'll be waiting for you in my DM. See you on the next one.